The thing I enjoy the most about the Uncaged, man, is the authenticity, man. The way people are just real, and it's a comfortable group because you're all going through this life and you're doing it together, so you don't have to feel as alone in the path in the I guess the path or journey to wherever it is you're trying to get to. So that's been really powerful for me.
That's awesome, bro. Well, before we kind of hop into everything, why don't you go ahead and tell the guys who you are and what you're doing, and we'll just get into it.
Yes, sir. My name is Kevin Faulkner, and I've been in Uncaged now for a couple of years. Um, Really, man, I'm a guy that's just committed to growing and learning, and it's a full-time job. I own a credit repair company, so we help folks with their personal credit, and it's been a good business, man. We've been able to help a lot of people, but really, we'll get into it. But one of the things I've really enjoyed most is the aspect of what credit plays in the overall growth.
Mm.
It's just one limb, if you will, to the whole thing. So it kind of fits in good with my um, take on life.
Yeah. No, man, I love it, bro. And it's cool. I appreciate the word authenticity. It's just something, it's a word that I feel like either gets misused pretty regularly or misinterpreted, but like also in the same breath, like it gets like it's almost like undervalued. It's almost like it's I don't want to say unappreciated, but it's a underdog when it comes to like personality traits in people these days. And it's crazy because like the more that I pay attention to high level people, that word or just like literally what it stands for in another person becomes so much more valuable, right? Like you start looking at these people who have all the money in the world, right? Like there's jokes about like, oh, what do I get so and so? They can buy themselves anything, right? It's like those level of people where like you can't technically give them anything. They've built a strong enough lifestyle. They've built strong enough, financial habits. They've gotten to a point where like you really can't give them anything except for being an authentic person in their life, right? And having those people in their corner is something that they value heavily. So, like, I know you've been around groups for a while, all different walks of life, all different industries, all different perspectives and personalities. And I know you've gone through, a personal development and let's call it like an entrepreneurial maturity over the last several years as you've started to kind of step into who you are, especially not only in your own life and ecosystem, but like in others, what does Kevin Faulkner think about authentic people?
Well, it's a really cool conversation, and it's a deep conversation. Because there's levels going off of what you were just saying. When you get up to personally believe that to really be authentic, you have to be very confident with yourself. I think because what is authentic? Authentic is being the real you and being okay with letting that person come out. And I think it's a buzzword, man, that you hear in these day and age a lot. People are like, it's authentic or whatever, but are they really? Are they really, really authentic? And are they comfortable enough to just be who they are? And when you get around those guys, those that takes confidence. But when you get around those guys, those really um, high earners, and they're thirsty for authentic people because they have so many people that aren't authentic in their lives. So when they find somebody that's authentic and just real, it it's refreshing, and they that's somebody that they can be themselves with and really trust and let their guard down, and you can have a real conversation. Because what's interesting, man, and I know you've been around a lot of this. You're like me, man. We strive to put ourselves in those positions where we're around people like that, and it's because we can learn, and those people are just like we are, man. They laugh, they make jokes, they talk about the stupid shit in life, and the things, and just it's just people. people are really thirsty for real, man. And I think that's more and more with AI coming on so strong, with social media being what it is. I just think that authentic and real, which is bred from confidence, is something that's just going to become more and more valuable.
I love that. And I want to nail down something you said because you started talking about authenticity and confidence collectively, like synergistically. And one of the topics I really want to like make sure we cover here is confidence comes from like knowing the thing. So whether you're in sales, products or services, the more you know about your own product or service, the more confident you can be in sales, right? Your confidence in life, walking into a gym comes from the education, the experience of being in that realm, of being in the gym, knowing what workouts you're going to go do, knowing what kind of set reps you're doing, knowing what kind of weight you're even doing per exercise, knowing that like you're in your ecosystem when you see other gym bros that like are consistent and dedicated like you are, right? The confidence comes through that experience, right? The confidence comes through literally knowing this stuff inside and out. And so, like, when you start talking about confidence next to authenticity, that confidence can only come through when you literally know who the fuck you are, right? I talk about it all the time that, like, as a fucking man, to be confident comes down to knowing that you're going to do what the fuck you say you're going to do when the fuck you say you're going to do it, right? That's where that confidence comes from. So when you start collaborating confidence and authenticity, it comes from like fucking knowing through trials and tribulations, through fucking being refined by the fire, from being fucking tested and attempted to be manipulated and coming out on the other side and people trying to take advantage and you holding your ground. It comes from not giving up on being true to your fucking self, no matter what life throws at you, no matter what temptations come your way, you start to build your confidence in your authenticity because you've been tested and you passed. And you got tested again and you fucking passed. I mean, dude, there's people that we both fucking know that are some of the most authentic human beings, and there's no level of money, there's no fucking amount of hot chicks, there's no amount of like anything that you can throw at these people that would ever fucking make them misstep a day in their fucking life. And those have to be some of the best human beings I know.
Where my mind went when you were saying that was I think that some of that comes from for me anyway, we all take in information different. So the information that comes from life and my life experience has taught me that like it was very refreshing for me when I figured out that like nobody has it figured out. Nobody's gonna, and this is whether, because even if you're talking about a, 8-figure earner or whatever, that's what we were talking about a second ago. They may be good in their lane at what they're doing, but that doesn't mean necessarily they're good all the way around in every aspect of life. Like they may be struggling in the marital aspect of it or raising their kids or whatever. I mean, and I think that when, to your point, confidence and knowing that you're prepared as much as possible, but I also think that willingness and humbleness to be open to learning. And I know that the people that are really successful financially that we're talking about, the ones I've known anyway, are always so ready to learn and take on new information. And you just understand that, okay, if I get knocked on my butt, then I'm going to take that lesson and learn from it. I'm not going to dwell on that lesson. I'm going to extract what I learned from it, and then I'm going to move forward. And I think that just understanding that and getting real comfortable with it allows you to be authentic and just be real too in any situation. Because at the end of the day, when you figure out finally that we're all the same no matter what room you're in. Um, if we're honestly trying to grow and get better, then we're all just honestly trying to grow and get better. So there's no reason to be not yourself or be ashamed of who you are or what you're about, you know?
No doubt. And that's also like as we start stepping into like being around more and more high level people, I agree because like none of us have it all figured out. None of us know everything. None of us have the time to know everything. And so again, like I love this conversation because it's kind of all unfolding in lifetime as we're having this discussion. But it's like you see someone who has these attributes that you want and you appreciate, which is the authenticity, the confidence, whatever. And these people who have all the money in the world are always looking to buy back their time. So they're always looking to take advantage of someone else who has those attributes that you can't buy, that you can't train. Like you either got it or you fucking don't. They're looking for those people to buy back their time because they know that, like, yeah, they might be an expert in their field, but they need other experts in other areas. And, I took this note while you were talking, and it's a two-part, as when you start talking about the way these people operate, is they know when to ask for help and they know when to say no, right? Like they know when to ask for help where their time is not best used learning it, figuring it out, fucking it up, whatever. So they're looking for those confident and those authentic people to come insert into those areas of their life. And they have to be able to swallow their pride and say, I don't know this. I need help here. But also on the other side of things, they know to say no to things that they're not good at. You said it earlier, they know to stay in their fucking lane. Why would you try and get in someone else's lane and compete against someone that it's their full-time job to fucking run as far and as fast in that lane? Why would you even get over there and compete? Stay in your fucking lane, combine forces, lock arms with other people that you genuinely give a fuck about and that you can trust to be authentic to themselves and confident in what they do, and let's grow together.
Well, and we're talking about money in this conversation, but it goes a lot further than that. It's all over our lives altogether. But from a money perspective, when you're talking about somebody, what is the how do you gain money? You gain money by taking a dollar and being efficient with that dollar, figuring out how to multiply it into more dollars.
Mhm,
So the fastest way to go from A to B is in it, when you're talking about these types of people, and really what you're talking about is one word, is efficiency.
mhm,
And that's learning, and you can't be efficient if you're trying to do a lot of things that you're not good at. And these people um that are in those positions, they figure that out, and that's what scalability is.
yeah, 100%. No, man, I love that. And you also said something in the beginning too that obviously like transitions perfectly here. It's just talking about not doing things alone. Obviously that's the big piece of like what Uncaged is founded on is being able to collaborate with fellow men that are like-minded to be able to set a goal and achieve it, right? And we talk about it all the time with the Legion program and stuff like that. Like no one's paying for one-on-one coaches, no one's paying for group coaching, no one's paying for group chats, no one's paying for anything other than solving their problems, right? And, obviously that's a blanket statement, but when we like really peel back the layers of what it means to be like a high achieving man, is you set a goal and you accomplish it. And then you set another goal and you accomplish it. And it's not that this like concept of like, oh, enough is never enough, or you're never satisfied, or when are you going to stop? It's that we inherently know in our soul that we're meant for greater, we're meant for better, right? And somewhere along the way, a majority of the people, well, I will go out on a limb and say all the fucking people that have ever achieved any amount of success have never done it alone. So somewhere along their journey, they're like, you know what? I can't. Like my goal is so like how arrogant are we that we set these audacious goals and think we can fucking do it all ourselves, right? Like at somewhere along that journey, every motherfucker worth looking up to in the history of fucking ever realized you can't do it alone. And so it's crazy to me to see men out here struggling alone, men out here attempting to succeed alone, men out here figuring it out alone, men out here working alone, men out here crying alone, men out here being happy alone, men out here being scared alone. Like, it's crazy to me that like there's a demographic of men out there that believe that there is not other people in this world that share the same mission, that share the same vision. And granted, it doesn't mean like, you're in credit health and we're in personal development, right? Like we're completely two different ecosystems and worlds but like we align on having a shared vision and mission of being better and waking up every day trying to win the day and succeeding at like our most audacious goals. But we've realized along the way that we can't do it alone. What's like that journey for you been like? Like who is the Kevin trying to fucking do it all on his own versus the Kevin who finally figured out that like Kevin's goals are too big that not just Kevin could succeed at them.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting conversation. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of it, but I'll say this, man. It's very lonely when you're on a true growth journey. There's just not that many people that are dedicated to, society as a whole, man, is inauthentic. Like everything we could go. I mean, this is a rabbit hole. We've only got a few minutes, man, but you could talk all day on all the bullshit that's out there, man, about in life as far as things that we're trained to do, basically just put you on a wheel, man. And so you just go through and you spend your life or whatever. So um when there's not, first of all, you have this awareness that allows you to kind of step out of that and see that. And then you start seeing the efficiency, where we talked about efficiency a minute ago, and like what's going to get my life um, moving in the right direction that I want to be. And it's just asking questions like, or making observations like, who are the five people I'm around the most that I surround myself with? I mean, that's base level stuff, but it's questions people don't ask, man, out in society. They don't ask that. You just allow yourself to get amongst everybody, and that's not efficient. We were talking about to accomplish things like these billion, these 8, 9 billion figure earners, billionaires earners. They think efficiently. It's not efficient when you just go throw yourself anywhere in a random crowd. So when you're selective about it, which is probably a better way of understanding why I'm a member of Uncaged. I mean, is because you're selective about who you're around, and you're around people that think like you do. So then when your mind starts going left, and all of ours do, we all end up. I was there in the gutter this morning talking to my wife, man. I mean, it happens to all of us, no matter who you're at, who you are, or what you've accomplished. And now you got these group of guys that are thinking like you, and they can punch you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, dude, get your head out of your ass. Come on."
Mhm.
You know, and it's so valuable. That's the cornerstone of efficiency of the beginning of your past. So to the guy that's listening to this, that's struggling, man, and maybe you're in a lot of credit card debt or something, and your kids are overwhelming you, and maybe your marriage is not going that great, and you don't know what the heck to do. You don't know. That's first of all, you're my people. You're who I enjoy talking with and working with and helping, because that's where I was not very long ago.
Mhm.
And uh, getting around the right group of people, no matter who it is. I like Uncaged. I think Uncaged is a lot of good people, friends I've been with for Zach. You and I known each other and been friends for years. And
Mhm.
same with a lot of these folks in Uncaged, but your group may be different, and that's okay. I mean, um, but get around like-minded people that's the first step towards efficiency. And to do that, I think you do have to get authentic too. So I like these two words, man. I love these two words,
Yeah.
authentic and efficient.
Yeah, man. And you said that too. And, I'm a big proponent. It doesn't matter what group you're in, as long as y'all share the same, like, core values, the mission, the vision. And, because there's someone that's listening to this right now. because we keep talking about alone and like how close you are with other people, right? And there's someone listening to this right now that is, they aren't alone. They're surrounded by tons of people, family, friends. They're close to them. They see them every day, every week, every night. It's your coworkers, it's your wife, it's your in-laws, it's your own family, it's the people that you see at bowling or at judo or at the gym or whatever. You're close to people and you have friends and you're talking to people all day, every day, but you've never felt so alone, right? Like we're talking about quality over quantity, right? Even Kevin talking about like you're the average of the five people that you surround yourself with. And if you were to like think of like there's like, your phone will keep score of like how much time you spent on each specific app, right? Like whatever. How many times you picked up your phone to look at each app, how many minutes and hours you spend on the app, what percentage of your use each app got, right? Like, what if we had that type of evaluation on our life with the people in it, right? Hey, man, like, yeah, you talk to this motherfucker the most, you talk to this motherfucker this many minutes and hours per day, and this is the percentage of the talking about efficiency, the time and energy you associated to this relationship. And you look at those top five, what are those top five doing? Like, right? If they're not serving you to your soul, like on where you're going, this dream life journey that you're on, like if they're not adding to it, unfortunately, they're fucking taking away from it, right? And so I think that, like I said, there's might be some people listening that they've got a huge quote unquote network. They're very involved in their church, right? They're involved in their community. They go shake hands and kiss babies all the time, but they've never felt so fucking alone. And it's because there's not an alignment with understanding where you're fucking headed in life in general. You don't even know what kind of a dream life you should have, but you damn sure don't have people around you that are adding to that value, which means they're taking away from it.
And man, to build off of that, the separator from a group like Uncaged, and your normal everyday group, whether it be your coworkers that you may go have a beer with or whatever after work, or watch a game with, or go you folks at church, is your is are the question I ask is, are they talking about people in yesterday, or are they talking about ideas in the future? And that's there's nothing wrong with the people in your life. Look, nobody in my family is thinks like I do, man. It's a different, and I love my family, man. They're my family, dude. Love them. They just you learn to meet people where they are. Nobody's criticizing anybody. What we're saying is, if it's in you and it's different, you're gonna feel alone. First of all, to that, I would say that probably means you're about to really hit some growth, so you're probably on the right track. The next stage would be to go get amongst a group of people, man, that think about those ideas in the future.
Hmm. 100%, bro. It goes back and there's so much controversy that comes over it. And I'll hit on this for a second, right? Because I agree, you know, not everyone's built for this life, and that's fine, and they'll have a time and a place and their role, and that just because they're not, listen, money just happens to be a KPI for things that we're doing, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
but like that doesn't mean people need to be money driven or XYZ. Like there's a place in people that
Yeah.
can fulfill your soul in different ways. But anyways, when we start to like kind of think of like where our energy goes on some of this, you can start to really kind of conceptualize where people's places in your life are and where and how much and what kind of energy you give to them, right? Because, for me, I have a hard time listening, and this would be probably a good example. I have a hard time listening to people about money that are fucking broke, right? I'm not going to take advice from them, which means I also don't need to be taking criticism from them. But it's in every area of our life, right? Like I'm not going to listen to someone about like spirituality who doesn't live a life that I actually want to live, right? I'm not going to take relationship of advice from someone that's not fucking married or, whatever. Like there's aspects of this, but at the end of the day, it's all about knowing who you are, knowing what your goals are, and knowing what, for lack of a better term, what you're looking to get out of people and the relationships that you have. If there's nothing there, I'm okay with cutting people or at least massively limiting my exposure to them because if they're not, like I said, if they're not pushing me towards my goals, they're pulling me further away from it. And as being a married man and a father, my dedication now becomes to my wife and my daughter. Like, yes, I have extended family and I have other things, but like my responsibility as a provider and as a human being now goes to them. And so, like I said, like if we're not creating this synergistic ecosystem of the people that are around us, always pushing us forward, in my eyes, I see someone holding my daughter's little wrist, holding them back, right? Like this is someone bear hugging my wife and holding them from their greatness, right? And this is where daddy steps into the ring and we got to take control and make sure that our life is always projecting towards a greater future because as a Christian man, I believe that's what God put us on this earth to do was to
Yeah, me too.
constantly be better.
Me too. And the other thing too is like, so you've got, like with my family, I was talking about, we'll keep it about me. So it doesn't,
Yeah.
I don't want to criticize anybody. I'll talk about my stuff. So
Uh-huh.
like my goal with my family is is to show them what's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I married a woman that has 8 grandkids, and she had her first when she was 15, her daughter when she was 15, and then my wife did, and then now her daughter has kids. So we're in our 50s, mid 50s, and there's 8 grandkids, and those grandkids, I take it on my response. And I think I like this conversation a whole lot more than I do talking about the 8, 9 figures because
Right.
it's just about you're talking about impact,
Yep.
and I think something that just it doesn't get talked about enough. And I think if I can get out there and show those grandkids what's possible, and I can get out there and show make you know multiple 6 figures or whatever the dollar figure you want to talk about, and just show them concepts that are kind of going back to getting in the room we were talking about at the beginning. The number one thing that kind of took the roadblock out of struggling for the word, but the mentally kind of took it, like I said, opened up my eyes was when I started getting around these guys that were doing so much better than me and finding out that they're just normal people.
Yep.
They've got all the fears, they've got all the insecurities, they've got all of that. They're just open to ideas and learning, and they don't hang out in the past. They're willing to take a chance and grow and learn and build. From like 2026 has to be better than 2025. 2027 will be better than 2026. You and I talking almost every time I talk to you, I tell you I can't wait to see where we're at in 2028, 29. Always about the future, because I know when you
Yeah.
have like-minded people that are growth-minded where they're going. But saying all this to say that with my grandkids, when they are watching me, there's no greater impact I can have.
Mhm.
Because if two of those grandkids go out and do some things because of what they've seen me do, shit, dude, I can't keep up. They're going to bypass me, man. I mean, and you know what I mean? Just off of what I gave them a little bit of a step, man,
Mhm.
to get up. And I think that's our responsibility as men.
Right. Yeah. There's a saying, I don't really agree with it because I happen to have guys like yourself in my corner, and this is who I choose to surround myself with, but you'll understand based on the conversation where it's going. But there's a saying that says, and I mean, obviously it would be applicable to granddad and all that, but there's a saying that says, no man will ever want to see you do better, or there's only one man that ever wants to see you do better than them, and that's your father. And and that's what's cool, man. Like I said, one of the big things that we talked about, there's a Japanese proverb talking about helping another man to the top of a mountain. And it says, as you help another man to the top of the mountain, you know, when you get him to the top and you look down, where are you? You're at the top too, right? And so it's cool to see like because and I'm synergizing the two kind of conversations here is it's cool to be surrounded with other people that want to see you succeed just as bad as you want to see them succeed, but then also collectively and compoundingly what that does for Kevin's kids and Kevin's grandkids and Zach's kids and Zach's grandkids. And how does this like truly change everything we've ever known about like working together or being alone or like literally everything we've talked about this entire episode and that legacy and how that gets passed down and to your point, man, like, whether it be family members or other people that you've chosen to be mentors or whatever, I've got some strong mentors in my life and as well, I know you do. And it's funny because luckily I've gotten a personal relationship with several of them. And I've said it to some of their faces, like, I'm going to pass you up. And it's because you've given me every fucking ability to. You've given me the roadmap. You gave me the blueprint, the cheat sheet. It's I should pass you up. If I didn't,
They want you to pass them up.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
100%. I fucking love it,
Yeah.
dude.
The most uh generous people you'll ever meet are people in those positions, man, that are doing they want so bad to give and they just want somebody to listen and take the things that they give them and take action with it. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they pour into us.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you, and again, and I'm pretty vocal about this. So three of my mentors, up at one point in my life, and this was probably in 2023, I would say. So Bobby Castro, Sammy Knight, and the late Dr. B, within about 3 months from each other, all had told me about the same thing. And the general consensus was that they wish they had started pouring into people and sooner and they would have gone further faster. And again, it's not like, oh, let me take care of you so that you will take care of me. And it's also coming from that phrase. I think it's Zig Ziglar, but don't hold me to this. Like you have, actually, I'm pretty sure it's not now that I say that out loud. You help enough people get what they want and they'll help you get what you want. Right. And again, it's not a manipulative thing, but it's like you look at these people who've amassed, and when I say wealth, to your point, it's not about a numerical dollar amount, right? Like it's about everything that comes from that, like legacy, right? Like, to kind of bring the two back to life, one of those people that I mentioned is a fucking billionaire. And what are they doing right now? They are spending a majority of their money teaching people they will never meet a day in their life, in their lineage, how to maintain and grow true wealth. And again, it's not necessarily attached to a dollar amount, but this person is recording a 100-year legacy on how to continue operating from a place of growth.
Bobby, right, doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just incredible to me.
Yeah, and man, I think success leaves clues, they say, and when you
Yep.
look at those guys like that, like Bobby or Dr. B, man, fantastic human. Sammy, the success leaves clues, so you're like, why? Those guys have plenty of money. So you're looking like, what are they choosing to do with their time? And I
Mhm.
think that's a great life hack for people that they're looking for a purpose because you can bypass a lot of the nonsense and crap if you just pay attention to, which is another reason to join one of these groups like this, Uncaged, because you get access to these people and then you can skip all the crap
Mm-hmm.
and just go straight to what really matters, which is pouring into people. I can tell you, man, without question, that when I pour into people, man, I feel better helping somebody else, man, than I can ever feel on my own, man.
I couldn't agree more, bro. Well, dude, I always love talking to you, man. It's always a good time.
Yeah, enjoy it, man.
Well, bro, I want to be respectful of your time. Like, speaking of, what can we do to pay you back for your time that you spent here with us today as we end this episode?
Man, I'd love to connect with some guys in the group, man. So, if anybody listens to this, just hit me in the DMs, man. Let's hop on a call and just get to know each other. I don't want anything from anybody, man, unless I pour more into you than you give to me. That's just how I like to roll. So, I just want to connect with like-minded people that are about growth.
That's awesome. I love that. And obviously, Kevin's in Uncaged. If you have any issues finding him, reach out to myself or anyone else in Uncaged. We'd be more than happy to connect you with him. It's a great fucking dude. Like you said, I've known him for a long time, and this dude's never switched up. He's always been forward thinking. He's always been just a genuine human being, and I love being able to call him my brother. Other than that, thank you, Kevin. For those of y'all listening, if y'all need anything, please reach out to myself or anyone on the team, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.